Jalen Ramsey trade talks heat up as Dolphins seek deal the Miami Dolphins and all-pro cornerback. Jalen Ramsey appear to be heading toward a separation, as both sides have agreed to explore trade options. This developing situation has generated significant buzz around the NFL, with several teams emerging as potential landing spots for the seven-time Pro Bowler. Buccaneers emerge as leading candidate. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have surfaced as one of the prime destinations for Ramsey's services. As NFL.com's Nick Shook pointed out, Tampa Bay has had a notably productive offseason for a current division champion, adding young talent to the offense, retaining Lavonte David, and welcoming important veterans on defense in free agency. Despite their impressive roster moves, the Bucs still have a glaring need in their secondary, where Jamel Dean and Antoine Winfield Jr. currently stand as their top defenders. While Tampa drafted cornerbacks Benjamin Morrison, 2nd round, and Jacob Parrish, 3rd round, adding a player of Ramsey's caliber, who has expressed interest in transitioning to safety, could be the missing piece in their pursuit of another NFC South title in 2025. The financial hurdle. The financial aspect of a potential trade represents a significant obstacle. Ramsey is due a substantial $25.1 million in 2025, with $24 million in guarantees this year alone. This financial burden has complicated the Dolphins' search for a suitable trade partner without them assuming part of the contract cost. As Shook highlighted, the biggest hurdle in a potential Ramsey trade would be the salary cap logistics. The Buccaneers have around $29.1 million in projected cap space before signing their draft picks, which might provide enough wiggle room. Ramsey's contract runs through 2028, but there's a potential out after the 2025 season. At 30 years old, he remains a highly decorated player with a Super Bowl LVI victory and a resume that includes 7 Pro Bowl appearances and 3 first-team All-Pro selections. Last season, he started all 17 games for the Dolphins, recording 60 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 1 sack, and 11 passes defended. Dolphins' financial flexibility, ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reported. The sticking point here is the $24 million in guarantees. My impression, after asking around, is that Miami hasn't shown much willingness to cover part of that bill, which makes a trade difficult to execute right now. This has led to speculation that the Dolphins may need to be financially flexible to facilitate a trade. Rams reunion possibility. The Los Angeles Rams, who originally traded Ramsey to Miami before the 2023 season, have also expressed interest in bringing him back. Rams head coach Sean McVay referred to Ramsey as a stud and emphasized the team's desire to reunite with the cornerback. The Rams reached the NFC divisional round of the playoffs last season, making them an attractive destination for Ramsey, who wants to play for a competitive team. While the Rams have just under $19.9 million available in cap space, they could find a way to accommodate Ramsey's contract if they decide to actively pursue him. If the Dolphins and Rams can reach a financial arrangement, it could lead to a swift resolution to this ongoing saga. Other potential suitors. Beyond the Buccaneers and Rams, several other teams have been mentioned as possible candidates for Ramsey. Las Vegas Raiders. Though not considered a top contender, they lack a starting cornerback and could benefit from Ramsey's experience and skill set. Atlanta Falcons, looking to strengthen their secondary after a busy offseason. Cincinnati Bengals, ranked just 23rd in defensive EPA last season, and could use a consistent number 1 starter option to improve their defensive unit. Tennessee Titans have been relatively quiet in their cornerback acquisitions this offseason. Philadelphia Eagles, with $24.8 million in cap space, they could be a dark horse in the Ramsey sweepstakes, especially with their need for a veteran. Presence in the secondary. Strategic timing as the offseason progresses. The Dolphins find themselves at a crossroads with Ramsey. With the June 1st deadline approaching, there may be a strategic advantage in waiting to finalize any deal until after that date, when $10 million would come off Ramsey's salary cap impact. This could make a trade more viable, particularly if Miami remains reluctant to cover any of his guarantees. Outlook. While the Dolphins and Ramsey are eager to part ways, the complexities of his contract and salary cap implications present significant challenges. The Buccaneers, Rams, and several other teams are monitoring the situation, hoping to acquire a player of Ramsey's caliber. As the NFL offseason unfolds, all eyes will remain on this developing story as teams assess their options and the potential impact of acquiring one of the league's premier cornerbacks. Dolphins-Cowboys trade idea. Could Tyreek Hill be on the move? As the offseason progresses, speculation continues to swirl around the Miami Dolphins' future plans. With the team seemingly not positioned to compete in the immediate future, rumors about potential trades involving their star players have gained traction. While Jalen Ramsey trade discussions have dominated headlines, another blockbuster possibility has emerged: trading superstar wide receiver Tyreek Hill to the Dallas Cowboys. The trade proposal, in a recent trade idea proposed by Brian Martin of SB Nation, the possibility of the Dolphins sending Tyreek Hill to Dallas was explored. Martin noted that such rumors have been circulating throughout the offseason. "We only mention Tyreek Hill because there have been rumors circulating throughout the offseason he could be traded. He'd no doubt upgrade the Cowboys' receiving core and be a near-perfect pairing for CeeDee Lamb. However, the draft capital it would take to acquire him and the salary Dallas would have to take on makes this trade unlikely. We can't rule out anything with Jerry Jones, but again, this trade seems highly unlikely to happen." Addressing Dallas's receiver needs. This speculation gains credibility when examining the Cowboys' current situation. After not selecting a wide receiver in the early rounds of the NFL draft to pair with CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott, Dallas has a clear need at the position. The departure of Michael Gallup has left a void in their receiving core, and adding a player of Hill's caliber would immediately transform their offense into one of the league's most dangerous. Hill's recent performance. While Hill's 2024 season statistics, 959 yards and 6 touchdowns, represented a decline from his remarkable 2023 campaign, 1,799 yards and 13 touchdowns. Context is important. The Dolphins' offense struggled significantly last season, largely due to quarterback Tua Tagovailoa missing time with injuries. Despite these challenges, Hill still demonstrated his elite playmaking ability. A move to Dallas could potentially revitalize Hill's production, pairing with a consistent quarterback like Prescott, and taking pressure off Lamb could recreate the explosive offensive output that has defined Hill's career. The combination of Hill's game-breaking speed and Lamb's route-running excellence would give the Cowboys one of the NFL's most formidable receiving duos. Financial implications. Any potential trade involving Hill would need to address significant financial considerations. The 30-year-old receiver carries a substantial contract that would impact Dallas's already complicated salary cap situation. The Dolphins would likely need to absorb some of this financial burden to make a deal work, similar to their reported reluctance in the Ramsey trade discussions. Miami's perspective. From the Dolphins' standpoint, trading Hill would signal a clear pivot toward rebuilding. While losing a player of his caliber would be difficult in the short term, acquiring valuable draft capital could accelerate their retooling process. With question marks surrounding their quarterback situation and overall roster construction, stockpiling assets might be the prudent long-term strategy. Is it realistic? Despite the logical fit in terms of need, this trade remains a long shot. As Martin mentioned, the draft capital required and financial implications make it challenging for Dallas to pursue. Additionally, while Miami may be looking to reshape their roster, trading away both Ramsey and Hill in the same offseason would represent a dramatic teardown that ownership might not be ready to embrace. However, as NFL fans know well, never say never when Jerry Jones sets his sights on a star player. The Cowboys owner has demonstrated throughout his tenure that he's willing to make bold moves when he believes they can push his team closer to championship contention. What do you think? Would trading Tyreek Hill be the right move for Miami's future? Could the speedster put the Cowboys over the top? One thing's certain, if such a trade materialized, it would instantly become one of the offseason's biggest storylines.